we just dropped the old oil filter. Number one key thing is to make sure that the gasket is still on the oil filter. Because if not, you put it up there and get a double gasket, and as soon as you start it, oil will go everywhere.
Oil going everywhere.
Yeah. Which is one step I should have showed you before I put this one on. Let's take it off real quick. Won't hurt anything, I don't think. You always have to grease the gasket on the new filter to get a good seal. Some people say use brand new oil because old oil have contaminants in it to ruin the filter. After so many years of me doing this, I've never had any issues using old oil coming out the off the whatchamacallit. So you want to get a good tight and then another half turn. That's it. Don't
Hand tight.
Yeah, hand tight. No wrenches, no bands on there to tighten them up. Because 9 times out of 10 you're going to damage the oil filter. All right, I've already pre-loosened this, which was a 14 millimeter. Now let's see if I can get good at this without having to go everywhere. Usually I can judge it pretty good. How about that? Usually. Of course, I'm on camera now. Watch I make a mess. And we drop it out. And 3, 2, 1. God dang it.
Oh, nice. Not bad, not bad.
Now, I'm not going to say nothing, but the owner of this vehicle has ran this oil a little over.
They know who the owner of the vehicle is. It's a rag.
As you can see, it's pretty dark. It's so dark you can't even see through it. But at least we're getting it changed today.
So this isn't so many about miles on this particular oil change. It's more about the length of time.
Yeah. See, most people don't realize that they call for, unless it's a full synthetic, about 2,800 to 3,000 miles per oil change on conventional oil, between 5 and 7,500 on synthetic oil, or 5.5 to 6 months if it's just sitting or you don't drive it as much.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah. So this one is more time than mileage. And of course you don't have to let it drip to the last drop, which you'll never be able to do that unless you're taking the complete oil pan off. What I like to do is just let it come to almost a drip. And if I'm in a big hurry, I might plug it now. It's not going to hurt anything. Don't look like any metal particles coming out, so that's a good thing. If there was any metal shavings, you'd be able to see them there. Not in the stream, but you'd definitely be able to see it there.
Oh.
If you have any worries, you really think it's something there, just get a magnet and swirl around in the oil and see what you pick up. Alright, that's about good right there. Plug it back in. Now here's another thing too when you tighten these things up. Most people want to ratchet them, and you can also do more damage. Alright, yeah, we just put the drain plug in. We're about to tighten it up. What I like to do is just catch it as tightening, and when it gets to hand tightening to the tight, quarter turn. That's all you need. Don't put it on there because you can strip the plug out, and then you have to end up trying to retap it, or if you can't retap it, you have to place the whole oil pan.
I need none of that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the underneath part. Then we just add oil. I think this costs, what, 5?
Yep.
5 quarts of 5W30, which is a Chevrolet. Yeah, I'm a Ford man working on a Chevrolet. All right, double check everything. Good. Tight. What I like to do is wipe down the filter. That way I know if I have any oil drippings from the filter itself, if I happen to look up underneath there. Plus it looks good.
Clean filter.
Yeah, clean filter. Want to discard your old oil in proper places. A lot of the oil changing companies will accept us used oil for free. So me, I put it in the same jug that I dump them out in and just take it to the oil change place. That's it. Okay. Guys, most of you take your vehicles to, well, that's why I use real names, or any of those oil change places. A lot of those guys are young. They really don't know a lot about older vehicles. Won't give a name of where we did this at, but one of them took it to the older vehicle to one of the places, and they didn't even know where the oil dipstick was. So it's hidden. If you really, it's right there. If you don't know where the oil dipstick is, of course, transmission is labeled. Even if it wasn't labeled, somebody had replaced it, it'd probably be red. That's where your transmission is. That's where your dipstick is. And then this is actually where you add your oil to the vehicle at. So older vehicles, it's a lost art. Working on older vehicles, all the new stuff is electronic. Some of them don't even have dipsticks. You have to use a computer to check the oil. Transmission fluid don't have transmission fluid sticks. You have to go underneath the vehicle to check it. So, hey, learn it. Hey, just like we putting this on YouTube, mostly any and everything you can find on YouTube. Hey, I work at a dealership, and sometimes I'll go to YouTube. That's about it. We're about to add this 5 quarts of oil, and the oil change is done. Simple and plain. You can do it yourself, plus save yourself a lot of money and headache. Because if you mess it up, you know you did it. Sometimes if they mess it up, they're not going to even tell you they did. Quick tip, last tip of the day is when you add an oil, of course you break the top off. Well, when you know it, this one done. 9 times out of 10, it has a aluminum or paper seal here, and you would punch a hole in it. Well, if you're not careful, you'll knock the paper or the aluminum down in here and then end up with it in your engine. It can cost you way more money than a $20 thing of oil. So just be careful when you, if it does have that seal, which this one don't, when you punch it out, kind of tear it all the way off, or make sure it don't drop down inside the oil. You can do more harm than good. Add this 5 quarts of oil. Of course, us old school guys, we'll make the funnel out of the quart oil container. Let's see how we can make this work. All right, and we add this on. Let's see how this works here. Let's see. Yeah, now see. There we go. We won't be here 20 minutes filling this up. That's about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Thank you much.
And the oil change has been done.